Hi everyone, this is Talk to Me Tuesday on a Wednesday because apparently I can't film on a Tuesday because that'd be too easy. Sorry that I was a no-show last week. It was my daughter's birthday. I had mummy play dates and meetings and all sorts of things, and I just didn't get an opportunity to film. Oh, breathe. But I didn't really have anything to show you guys anyway because I've been really crafty negative. I have no idea what I'm saying. I've got out of the swing of this. Anyway, first things first, Amber, your package has now been sent. I am so sorry for the delay. I put a couple of extra bits in there as well because you had to wait so long, but I gave it to my husband and said, could you post this? And then I found it in our car, so yeah, I was pleased about that. So I then parcelled it up because it had got bashed about a bit, bless him. So yeah, hubby Baggins was not in the good books last week, but it's fine now. He's fine now. He cooked for me and it was all forgiven. So yeah, so that was the first thing I wanted to say. And then secondly, you might notice a change of haircut. I have gone from long to quite short. Much prefer this. It's so much nicer. My hair is in such good quality now, whereas before it was kind of like gross and horrible. And I think it's also changed the colour a little bit. Maybe it's the webcam, but anyway, I have, oh, hang on. Everything's in reverse on the camera, isn't it? And I can't quite get my head around it. No, that way. There we go. I'm so sorry, guys. I made one New Year's resolution this year, which was to gain some of my ID back, because I don't know, those of you who've got kids or know what it's like, that when you have children you become mum and not yourself anymore for a while. And now my kids are at an age where my little one's nearly at school and she's at preschool 2.5 days a week, and I'm working again, so there's more money coming in the house, which means I can afford to buy makeup and have my hair cut. So all those things are kind of making a difference, and I'm trying to regain a bit of my personality. And so be prepared for some geekiness coming your way, because there's quite a lot in the pipework. Because the hair colour is stage 1. I'm wearing makeup, which is unusual. You can't see all my horrible spots because they're all covered up with makeup. Anyway, enough about that rubbish. This week I have been mostly making Russian dolls for my daughter's preschool. Her preschool teacher knows that I sew, and she comes up to me and asks me to do certain things for them. Make small duvet covers for their play bed, and I made some oven gloves for their play kitchen area. And she wanted to do some Russian dolls, some felt Russian dolls in 4 sizes, so that they can teach the children about small going to big. And she wanted a set in pink and a set in blue made out of felt. So I made those, and I will insert a picture of those for you probably at the end, because I've given them to the school now, and I forgot to keep hold of them because my husband has upgraded my computer and my webcam wasn't working yesterday. So I made those, and those took about a week to make because I tried to draft my own pattern and I ended up with a very out of proportion Russian doll. So in the end I found a free pattern online and made them from there. So I'll try and put the link for the free pattern in underneath, but I probably won't remember, so I'm sorry, it's not my design, it's someone else's. The other thing that I made was my Doctor Who embroidery cushion. So this is the cushion. Can't quite get it all into shot. So it just has a zip at the top, and then it has this Doctor Who piece of embroidery here, and then I have this thing here which kind of it's a thread holder, and it does a couple of things. So it lifts up so you can actually insert, it's also got a velcro piece here, so you can insert like tubes of thread into it. So for example, what's going on there, if I had one of these threads, you can actually thread it on so it sort of holds it on like that. Or in this case I've just got a spool of embroidery floss on there. So that's part one of my design. Then I have this little Dalek here, which is a pocket for my little embroidery scissors. So they fit in like that. And then over this side I have a Cyberman, and he's actually a pin cushion, so he's slightly padded. But yeah, you can put your needles on there or your pins, and it's just made out of felt with a little bit of padding stuck to the bottom. So it's sewn onto the bottom. And then on the back I have this huge pocket. So it's not an envelope pillowcase, there is a zip. But on the back here I've got this huge pocket that I can slot my frame or my pattern, my paper pattern or anything like that into there, so that when I'm not working on it I can keep all my embroidery together. And it's to try and stop me having loose needles or threads, or I tend to sit down to do my embroidery and then stick everything kind of in my lap, and then I forget and I get up and everything falls out, or we have a pin that's gone into the sofa, or so this is just to try and keep me a little bit more organised. So yes, I made that. Oh, hair in my mouth. So yeah, that's it really. This week I'm hoping to start cracking on with my project of doom, because I went to IKEA a couple of weekends ago, and I know in the States the wadding or batting that you use is really good quality and it's not too expensive. Over here, in order to get proper cotton wadding and batting, the really good quality stuff that doesn't like shred into your machine, it's about £15 a metre, which is about $30. So when you're doing something like the Project of Doom quilt, that's a lot of batting that you need. Plus I want to quilt it into strips and then put the strips together, so it's more, because it's, you know, there's more wastage. And it's just so expensive. So I used to use fleece that I bought from the fabric shop, because that's about £5 a metre. So and it's really good because it's processed. It holds together really well. So I know when I made the wall hanging, the wall hanging that I made for Cross with Love for Rainy, that's actually got a fleece inside of it. So it's not too thick, it's not too thin. We don't really need quilts over here now for, you know, thick quilts, because it doesn't get freezing in England. It goes for its periods, but it's not cold like 90% of the time, or freezing cold. So mostly quilts are used sort of for decoration and for, you know, just to snuggle up with while you watch TV, so you don't want something too heavy. So on that basis I was using fleece from the quilt shop. And then I was at IKEA, and I don't know if I've got any around. Hang on. Oh, here they are. And I found these, which is just the IKEA fleece blanket. They're about £3, which would be about $6. And yeah, it's got some little edging on it, but I just cut that off, and I use this for wadding in my quilts. It's quite thin, but as I said, you know, it makes a nice snuggly blanket, especially when you quilt it. But it also means you don't have to worry too much about how closely you quilt, because I'm not very good, or at the moment I'm not very good at free motion quilting. I'm really struggling with the whole concept of it, and I just need to crack on and practice. But I don't want to do it on my Harry Potter quilt, because yeah, it's my labour of love. I don't want to ruin it by free motion quilting it. So I thought, at least with these, it doesn't matter how closely you quilt, because the batting stays together. So as long as I stitch in the ditch really well, it should be fine. So yes, so I bought a couple of those. So hopefully this week I will be cracking on and getting at least some rows quilted together, so that I can actually show you, because I also bought my spray adhesive stuff. So yes, that is going to be hopefully my project for the next couple of weeks, to get it finished for when I go to Harry Potter World. So, and I've got a couple of weeks off coming up at some point, so I should be able to really get that worked on and done, and then that will be the biggest thing on my to-do list ticked off for this year. And that's it really, apart from a lot of rambling. I apologise for all the rambling. Hopefully it won't put you off too much. But yeah, that's it. That's all I've got to show this week. I will update you all next week. I hope everybody has a wonderfully crafty time of it, and enjoys their week. I've got to comment on lots of videos, so I'm really sorry if I've been behind in commenting. I will get there. She says. Yeah, anyway, have a lovely week, and I will speak to you all next week. Bye.